There are two kinds of people in your life today: those who love you and those who love to hate you. If you deal with haters in your life, you're going to want to stick around for today's morning motivation. Okay, well, our quote for today is by Tim Tebow. And he said this: no matter what happens, you're always going to have those critics and those haters. You just have to learn how to deal with that. I think I have, and accept that. If you remember Tim Tebow's background, you know, he is a very strong believer in Christ. He's a fairly good athlete. And he started what was known as the Tebow sideline prayer. He would kneel down and prop his arm up, or however he would do his Tebow praying, which became known as Tebowing. And a lot of people really hated on Tim Tebow for his faith. They didn't like his prayer. They thought that he was trying to bring attention to himself. That he's just pushing his faith on people. And they just did not like what he was doing. And there are going to be people like that in your life. And there probably are people like that in your life. They don't like what you're doing in your life. They don't like your faith. Some people are jealous of other people, which causes them to be a hater. I frequent I go to a lot of YouTube channels and a lot of vloggers and people that have millions of followers. And when you read the comments, there are some really mean, nasty people who comment on these vloggers. And you know, I don't know how they deal with it. But we're going to look at what the Bible has to say and how we should deal with these people in our lives that, for whatever reason, had set themselves up to be haters in our lives. So what does the Bible say about this? We're going to look at Psalm 69, 4 through 5, written by King David. And King David had his share of haters. And let's look at verse 4. It says, more in number than the hairs of my head are those who hate me without cause. Notice that. That's what haters do. They hate you without cause. Mighty are those who would destroy me, those who attack me with lies. What I did not steal, must I now restore? Oh God, notice how he focuses his problem with the haters to God. Oh God, you know my folly, meaning, God, you know if I've done something wrong. You know more wrong about me than those haters could ever invent. He goes on to say, the wrongs I have done are not hidden from you. So great Psalm of David here. Many of these attributes in this whole Psalm, if you got time, read the whole Psalm. A lot of these things could be applied to Jesus. So some would call this a messianic psalm, a psalm that would describe Jesus as the Messiah. But the real world situation that was going on with David, y'all know King David. King David was, Saul had been rejected as king of Israel, and God was going to raise up King David to sit on the throne that Saul was going to vacate. And Saul was very jealous of David for no reason. And David was very loyal to King Saul. But King Saul wanted to kill David. And David had to run and flee from him. So David had haters. Even his own son, Absalom, wanted to kill David at one point. So David really understood how it felt to be hated. And he says he was hated without cause. And many were there trying to destroy him. So how do we respond to haters in our life? Well, number one, I jotted a few things down. Number one, don't respond to it. Don't feel the need to respond to every criticism that you hear or that you see on Facebook, or that people at work make comments to you, people at the store, people who call themselves your friends. You don't have to respond to every criticism. Don't feel the need to go tit for tat, back and forth about it. Number two, evaluate what they're saying. Is there any truth to it? That's why David points to God and says, God, you know my heart. You know the wrongs that I do. So think about what the haters are saying. Is there any truth to what they're saying? Do you really act the way they say you act? Is there a blind spot in your life that you need to work on? Number three, if it is something you've done, make it right. Don't just sweep it under the rug thinking it's going to go away. If you've offended someone, if you've wronged someone, and they're a hater towards you because of that, then that's on you. And you need to do everything in your power to make that right with them. And if you've made things right with them, then don't worry about their criticism. Make sure you're not doing anything wrong. Number three, rise above it and prove them wrong. Romans 8:31 tells us, if God is for us, who can be against us? So if you know that you're right before God, you know that you're doing what God's called you to do, you're taking care of your family, you're going to work, you're pursuing that ministry God called you to. If you know you're doing what's right, then ignore the haters, rise above them, and prove them wrong. I came up with a quote here. Haters are the wind that makes you soar. Think about that for just a minute. Hey, Roger. Haters are the wind that makes you soar. In order to fly, you got to have wind resistance underneath your wings. So allow the haters and their hateful comments and their criticism to be that wind that provides that lift for your wings, and you will soar. And lastly, this is most important. Turn the haters over to God. Let God deal with them. Later on in this psalm, David gets a little rough in his prayer in asking God to deal with the haters. When you got time, read all of Psalm 69, 4 through 5, and his response to haters is just powerful. And let me recap real quick. If you're dealing with haters in your life, first of all, don't respond to it. Number two, evaluate what they're saying. Is there any truth to it? If you've done something wrong, make it right. Number four, rise above it. Prove them wrong. And the last one, turn it over to God. Let God deal with the critics. Let God deal with the haters. Let God deal with it in the way that he sees fit. You keep doing what God's called you to do, and you do it faithfully. Keep your heart clear before God. Keep your conscience clear before God, and just keep moving forward. Well, I hope that gives you a little bit of motivation today. If you're dealing with haters today, I'm sorry. I'm with you. I pray that God takes care of the situation. But you keep doing right. You keep doing what God's called you to do. And we'll see you guys tomorrow at 8:30 for your morning motivation. May the Lord bless you and keep you. And may he make his face shine on you. See you guys later.